everyone, this is James from TDB bringing you another Inbetweenisode. Today I am going to be reviewing 5 different ripe teas, kind of in this new format. People liked it last time when I reviewed a number of W2T Ripe. So teas that perhaps aren't quite interesting enough to drink and bring onto an episode, but ones that I can kind of do these quick capsule reviews that sort of sum up my thoughts there. So I'm going to be working from my most favorite to my least favorite. This most favorite one I very well might bring onto an episode at some point because I actually own quite a few of these bricks too. That is the late 1990s 7581 from Quiche. This tea is just smooth and easy. It has a really great age to price ratio, something like $40 something for a 250 gram brick. So really inexpensive, and has just kind of a nice general kind of 7581 profile. The material is quite rough. It's probably not the best 7581 from the 1990s or anything like that, but I think what it does do is it creates a very smooth and easy daily drinker that has that profile. And I actually much prefer this over the day fragrance that they also offer. That's perhaps even a little cheaper than those teas. Next up is the 2007 Kunming 9921A Tuo. This is from Yee On. So it has the Yee On taste, so it's Yee Dank. What's interesting about this is it maintains still quite a bit of its strength. I'd say this tea is a little bit less chopped up than your average Tuo being probably something like a Shagwan or whatnot. And it still has this really interesting floral bitterness. That all being said, that doesn't sound like a tea that I could brew up in my big blue pot, but it worked pretty well. It's kind of like a morning brew. Of course, there would still be some kind of like bitterness there, but it's been, the storage has been enough to kind of mellow it out to a place where I didn't mind drinking it. It was, I'd say a little bit above average as far as like kind of my big blue pot brew. Next up, I have a gamble from Taobao where I split a cake 3 ways, so shout outs to Phobos for this tea. It's a 2005 Nanqiao Ripe. Not much to say about this one. It's smooth, a bit soft. I was hoping this would be a little bit better. There's kind of this antique wood cake taste that a lot of the older dye ripes in particular tend to develop. And this one just didn't have too much of it. Perfectly drinkable. I drank through it quite quickly. In fact, I have the little Nefe right here. But it's just kind of fine. It's too standard. And so the last 2 teas were sent from Jack Flapper, so thank you Jack Flapper, who wanted to send a bunch of bitter ripes here. First up, I have Alazani. This has a very unique fragrance. This is one of those W2T experimental ripes that they have. I think it's like a bit roasted, and I actually quite like this Gongpu style. I thought it was pretty tasty. Enough so, and I thought the bitterness was small enough that I'd be able to basically brew it in the big blue pot, which basically means the big blue pot is exposing it to just a little bit stronger brewing, a little bit more haphazard brewing, so it needs to be a certain level of smoothness. I actually found it to be quite bad there. So this is one that I thought might be just mellow enough that I could mug it in that same way. But no, it was not the case, so I had to dump those leaves in that case. But it is tasty when you can really moderate your steeps and the bitterness there. So kind of a mixed review here on the Alazani. So thanks you to Jack Popper for that one, as well as the next tea, the Cacao80, which the 5th wave might be my least favorite brew I have done this year. Cacao80 would be right behind there. It's like 80% of the way to 5th wave. They're very similar. It's just, I could not make it through it. I would not even attempt a mug brew for this. It was just not pleasant in any way for me. It was just way too strong, way too bitter, way too weird. So for me at least, perhaps some people like Cacao80 and 5th wave. For me at least, they are not the teas for me and not what I would want in ripe. Whereas Alazani perhaps is trying to get there. So I always appreciate the interesting things that Paul is doing, but some of these experiments are just definitely not for me. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. 4 of those 5 are available, and would definitely recommend people check out those top 2 there. So yeah, I guess the 9921A Tuo is not a ripe, but it is a kind of fulfills a similar niche for myself. So thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next time. Cheers.